Good morning, everyone. Bright and early. We are in November right now. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest. And today we're going to be talking about TMR abilities and which ones I think are best for you to invest in. Now, there are a lot of TMR abilities and there are a lot of choices. And first and foremost, you should always make your TMR choices based off your own personal team and not off any type of tier list or recommendations for other players. I cannot emphasize that enough. There are people out there who may be running teams where Ziza's bell is not the best gear to have. Now, granted, you should get Ziza's bells no matter what, but there may be a person out there. So I would always caution you when we're going into this video to just recognize what your team is and how you're planning on building them. We're just going to go down the list here and I'm going to highlight probably the most important ones. The first one I'm going to highlight though is Ziza's bell. Let's be honest, guys, this is the one that you need to have to max out. Revitalize grants so much AP. Not only that, it gives accuracy, agility, and defense. This you just need to have this maxed. If you're looking to do any type of relevant content in this game, you have to have Ziza's bells maxed. It's going to make your life easier, whether you're free to play, pay to win. Find a way to get these bells because you are going to need them. Now, going down my TMR list here, I'm just going to kind of highlight what the benefits are of the TMRs and kind of which ones I would stay away from. The Wolf Hairband is one that I am currently looking at investing in right now. It is a 3-turn buff to magic, so you're going to get magic plus 30% from it. You're going to get a hefty boost to accuracy, and you're going to decrease your defense and spirit. There's not many abilities that you can smack as a TMR ability onto characters to increase magic damage. So this is a big plus for me, particularly when I'm thinking about units like Elzira, right? Who maybe I want her to deal a little bit more damage and kind of unexpectedly surprise the enemy. Where the defense and spirit down, she's going to die anyway to anything. So this is one of those TMRs that I am currently looking at. I have not currently invested in it because, of course, anytime you make an investment in a TMR, it's expensive, right? Most people, even whales, are only going to be able to max fully maybe 1 or 2 TMRs, but it's definitely on my list for the future. I kind of want to do Oldoa's TMR first because of how relevant AP generation is, but definitely on my list right now. King Elda's TMR, I would actually say forget the ability. If you have the capability to get this, this is one of the best pieces of evasion gear for accessories that you can set. Pretty easy to get. You don't have to go crazy ham farming. Why not, right? If you could get access to this, I would say it's a nice TMR to have in your kit. Definitely not something crazy good to chase, but if you can get it, you might get some use out of it. I would say, the calculator robe, you're okay to skip. This is going to be, of course, Elzira's TMR. The White Wolf's armor, this is Glaciela's TMR. I would say this is one of the ones to invest in, particularly if you are running compositions with Glaciela or other units that can equip armor. Go to conditions to equip here just so I can show you kind of the jobs that can use this real quick. War Maiden's Vitality raises your own AP and raises slash resistance. Slash, of course, is really predominant in the meta right now, and I would definitely recommend pursuing this if you do pull this. Of course, prioritize Oldoa's TMR, prioritize Ziza's bells. This is definitely one, though, that I was excited to pull because it's kind of one of those defensive TMRs that also gives you the benefit of AP regeneration, or at least AP gain. Sacred Step, this is, Ayaka's TMR is not the worst in the world. It does bestow a barrier on allies within range that reduces damage for 3 turns and removes poison, blind, sleep, silence, paralysis, confusion, and petrify. It's not terrible. It's pretty good, but I think you're going to not run into many situations where you're going to want to use this. And if you're running into situations where, you are encountering petrify, you're probably just going to run Esena or some type of status, ailment reduction gear, or, throw a ribbon on. So a lot of the times you're going to be prepared for status ailments, and the status ailments are never going to actually get on your characters. Agrius's TMR, I've not leveled it, but my opinion on it is that it would be an okay investment. It basically bestows Protect and Shell on yourself for 3 turns, so you are going to have to max it out to get the best defensive priorities out of it. Is it worth it? That's, for me, I can see this being worth it, right? However, though, compared to the other TMRs I have and the other investments I could make, I'm looking at investing in other pieces of gear before I invest in this one. This TMR is perfectly fine. It's not going to be the end-all be-all coup de grace, though, right? It's going to be one of those, it's nice to have, it's a cherry on top, and unfortunately in TMRs, we cannot level them based on the cherry on top because we have to prioritize. Same with Delita's TMR. In fact, a lot, like, even I misunderstood his TMR ability when I first read it, and honestly, pretty trash. I've never used it. Ziza's bells we've talked about. Medina's TMR. Medina being a unit everyone has access to, I think this TMR is absolutely worth it to invest in and level. It's gonna raise your acquired AP, and it's gonna raise your attack and magic for allies within the area around self for 3 turns. This is really significant. The super strong buff, no reason not to have it. It pairs really good if you're like starting backline or you have your characters within certain amount of spacing with each other so that you can pop this right away. I would say probably this is one of the TMRs that I set more often, and I do love its ability. Staff Mage's Hairpin, this is a skip for me. It does have nice crit on it though, for any of you guys who are looking at doing a critical hit build. This is of course going to be kill phase TMR, and the ability does give area attack resistance. I'd say go ahead and pass. Warrior of Light's TMR, very similar situation. Generates TP and recovers the amount of HP raised. Not worth it in my opinion. Although, shout out, it does have nice accuracy and nice evasion and nice critical evasion. So if you are going for one of those Warrior of Light evasion builds, could be maybe pretty good to set. Miranda's TMR, a lot of people are really like, oh, Miranda's TMR is so good, especially back in the day. It raises magic attack and slash attack of allies within range for 3 turns. Yeah, it's okay. The problem is, you know, I think you're going to get more benefit out of other TMRs. It's not something that just like blows it, like it doesn't blow my mind, right? It's not going to massively change the battle. Maybe for you though, maybe you do have units that need that, like maybe you have that unique composition that has magic attack and slash attack in it, and you need to modify both. Maybe this is the way to go for you. Bewitching Heals, universal. Definitely do level this if you have them. I would say level them if you have this and if you have Ayaka, because this is going to give decreased chance of being targeted on self. Perfect for Ayaka. Wonderful. Woo, sorry guys, I did just wake up. But I would say all around, this is going to be a TMR that is very good and is almost exclusively for Ayaka. You could also throw it on like Eldzira to survive, or any type of mage character, but honestly, this is for that support unit that you're going to be having on your team. Rain's TMR. Rain's TMR is a do level if you have the capability to. Being able to buff spirit of your allies around yourself for 3 turns, and a significant amount at that, along with a defensive piece of armor with 500 HP and 14 spirit, all the way. This TMR has helped me. This TMR has made me win battles that I would not have won. And I think if you are planning on running Rain at all, this TMR is going to be amazing for you. Victoria's TMR here, accuracy 12, defense 8, HP 502. Eye of the Dragon significantly raises his own pierce attack for 1 turn and raises accuracy rate. I couldn't do it for 1 turn. In my opinion, Victoria already has such massively high attack. She's already an ice unit that has modified ice attack bonus damage from her ice lance. You don't need the crazy amount of piercing attack that this TMR gives, because it does. It gives a crazy amount of pierce attack when you have it fully leveled. But honestly, there's things you have to think about, right? So if you are using this TMR, Victoria's not going to use Dragon's Kin, right? She's going to switch from Dragon's Kin to Eye of the Dragon, which is basically switching from a 3-turn buff attack to a 1-turn buff attack. Not worth it, in my opinion. I would much rather have Dragon's Kin on her, and I think it kind of locks her into being a, glass cannon. And honestly, you're probably going to want to set Ziza's bells on her anyway. Bewitching Boots, these are going to be Lucia's TMR. Range 1 and boosts agility. These are definitely one of the more higher agility TMRs. It also has evade on it. I would say it's definitely good. It's definitely good to have in your arsenal. I don't personally have Limiter off leveled up, and I don't think I ever will. Lion Armor is going to be Stern's TMR. You can go ahead and just skip this. Sid's TMR is an interesting one. I think you could make it work, but honestly, we're at the point now where you're probably going to have bells on Sid or some other TMR. It's basically an agility TMR right now, and that's kind of what I use it for. We are now in the TMRs that are MR and below right now, and most of these are just bonus weapons that can kind of, have their own unique stats. The only MR TMR, there's a couple of them that I would recommend actually. Adelard's TMR is pretty good for that magic attack up. And then this is Ravi's TMR, and the acquired JP up 30%. That's the way to go. Not gonna lie. This TMR, I loved God for getting JP on my characters. So definitely a good one to get there. As we're transitioning through, of course, any of the great katanas is going to be good. A lot of people think that Fina's bow is really good, and it's actually not. It only has a 15% chance to charm. Putting that in perspective, right? That means the enemy has to have less than 15% charm immunity in order to have 100% charm immunity to it. A lot of units have 5 to 10% charm immunity, so you're really looking at like a 5% charm attack. Flameblade is Lilith's TMR. It's going to be best for her, so you don't really need to chase it because, it's only good for her, and you're going to have her leveled by the time you're going to need it anyway. Shadowlynx's katana, I actually would say, is pretty good as well. Paralysis granted on effect is very effective, particularly in tower. For anyone that has run tower, they will know that. The rest of the TMRs here, I would say, are kind of just, not that great. Vermilion has the same problem with confusion that, oh my god, I can't remember her name right now, Fina's bow has, where the confusion granted is such a low percentage compared to the resistances that players have, that confusion is not actually going to proc that often. And I know there's going to be people who are going to say like, but this has saved me in my arena match or in my guild battle. Yeah, okay. But it's still a super low percentage chance. And if you're looking for consistent results, you're probably better off going elsewhere. Mont's Lion Emblem, I would say you're going to be using this for, positioning or strategically planning your unit's moves. This is one of those TMRs that is essential in the sense that it's essential in modifying your own character or own unit's AI. So I would say because of the amount that you're going to be using this, I think this is a very important investment for you for all of your units, because leveling this up, this is the one TMR besides kind of Ziza's bells and stuff that everyone is guaranteed to use to sort of modify their own unit's AI. We are now in the SR TMRs, and I actually think there's two important SR TMRs to call out. The Magicite Eye Mask, Spirit up 7, Wind Attack Resistance up 10. This is a great way to get Wind Attack up resistance. Just throwing that out there. Sorry, I guess 3, because we also have Sosha's Boots, which give Ice Attack Resistance up and Accuracy up, and Defense 11, which is pretty hefty, so definitely worth it. And finally, Phoebe's TMR, which gives Agility 5, Defense 11, Light Attack Resistance up 10. Those are kind of the 3 SR TMRs that no matter what, I would recommend. There are 2 more unit TMRs that I did not cover that I do just want to go over real quick, and it's just because I don't have them yet. The first one is going to be Salir's TMR, which is going to be the Magical String, which is HP 172, Spirit 8. And it's going to grant Maneater up upon magic attack, so it's going to give you a Maneater buff to all of your magic attacks. And then Oldoa's TMR is going to give you Inherited Tyranny, which is going to bestow AP auto restore on self for 3 turns. And it's going to raise the defense piercing rate. That's going to be really powerful. along with accuracy 12, crit 9. Besides Ziza's bells, you should be chasing the Oldoan apron. It's going to be just one of those pieces of gear that you need to have. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you kind of found this TMR guide a little bit helpful. If there was a TMR that you found particularly helpful in your journey, make sure you leave it down in the comment section down below. As always, if you are planning on buying Visior, please use my affiliate link dig.gs/coins, or check out our special offer link dig.gs/offer down in the description down below. And as always, we're looking forward to hearing from you in the Discord. Come swing by, come say hi at dig.gs/discord. And as always, everyone, have a great rest of your day.